Hello everyone and welcome to WARNO League Season 0. Sotek versus Jasp in Division 1, as this is the group of death. And we have on the left side Sotek in blue bringing in 82nd Airborne, and on the right side Jasp in red bringing in 39th Guards Moto Strelki. And before we go in, once more shout out to Matcherino, where you can help out adding money to the prize pool without having to pay anything yourself. Or you can use the contribution codes that should show up for you to add money to the prize pool for free, 25 cents, just with a simple click there, or visiting a couple of websites below, adding some more money there as well. And if you want to add more money to these amazing players to fight over, you can do so, obviously, as well, with some direct contributions. Other than that, we now have a website, playersdl.com, where you can find all information about upcoming tournaments and ongoing tournaments. For example, here you can find the rules for Steel Division League Season 0, or the sign up for the Friday night WARNO tournament, or the Nebulous tournament happening this weekend. And then, yeah, let's have a look on the group standings of Sotek and Jasp so far. And Jasp is in a pickle. Kinda needs a win here. Sotek up 1-0 over Phoenix. Karma did beat Jasp though, so Jasp kinda needs a victory here in this match today. So let's see if Jasp can get that. At least a draw. Otherwise, Jasp's position to get on to the playoffs is basically over. But if Sotek gets a win here, chances for Sotek getting through are really, really high, especially with Karma, the only one that Sotek needs to play. Still with a chance then to getting into the as first place. So we'll see how this goes. And also, above here now, you see our new sub goal. If we get 250 subs before the final, yeah, stream schedule will be there added there as well, Lila Alf. That is planned for. I will work on that today. Stream schedule in the future, and all the links to the divisions should be there from now on out, updated weekly. And yeah, as you can see, the new goal for the finals, if we get to 50 subs before the finals, I will cast them in my father's NVA uniform. So let's go. On Saturday, we will have the Nebulous Fleet Command tournament with the new setup. We will cast Steel Division on Wednesday and maybe on Thursday. So tomorrow we will cast Steel Division. The first couple of league games will be played, already on the way, a couple of them. So yeah, Steel Division all tomorrow. And yeah, Wednesday is and Saturday is the 4th Nebulous 2v2 tournament, which should be really cool because Nebulous now got a observer mode, which looks fantastic. Observing this game is so much easier now, getting all the information to you out there that are spectating with me then. So really looking forward to that tournament. But this tournament in front of us is amazing as well. Yeah, and we're into the action. Sotek bringing out one CV. Jasp will get one into the center as well. Sotek only getting it into Charlie, but will get a +2 for it for now, until Jasp's one will get Echo captured for a bit and then move into Bravo afterwards. One helicopter and one Apache coming in here for Sotek from the get-go. So the Apache and the A-10 trying to get some damage then. Warthog flying forward. Other side, one Mi-24 VAA coming in, but the A-10 can shoot that down quickly, and an F-15 can shoot it down even quicker. Osa not in the position to really protect this, so Jasp needs to be careful here. Really shouldn't have the Mi-24 flying anymore. Should land with it. It's not landing right now though. MiG-23 coming in, trying to get the A-10. Does completely whiff though. And the Mi-24 gets shut down as well. Osa not in the position. CV does disengage here as the forward deployment of military police of Sotek is catching Jasp a bit by off guard here in the center as well. Jasp having a couple of units in the south, a couple of units in the center. Moto Strelki moving in into the Fireteam Dragon into the A10 as well, so this BMP-1 and the Motostrelki in it most likely will be dead as well. And no A8 down here in the south, so the Apache is free to roam as well. This is not a great start here for Jasp. Losing the OSA in the north to the military police as well. Oh no, this start is far from good for Jasp. This is a complete disaster, mostly. Northern flank might be the only solace here for Jasp, as if Jasp can secure this zone, if Jasp can secure Delta, that might be how you can maybe come back into this game with a flank. But without the OSA now, the Apache can bully this whole section of the map as well. No plane coming in. And being so pressed in the middle also makes it quite tough there. MiG-23 coming in, but there's still the F-15. F-15 goes home. E-10 already took a bit of damage earlier, so the MiG-23 might be able to get the kill there. It's flying in a weird pattern. Gets the A-10 to 2 hit points. Is nearly out of missiles though. And the A-10 deals some more damage there to the Motostrelki with its missiles. No AA at least around here. So this MiG-23 could do a good amount of damage. It's taking a long while to come around once more though. Producer coming up again, trying to deal with the Apache. Northern flank going pretty well for Jasp. Ooh, this is a scary head-on. Gets the kill though. And deals some damage to the Apache as well, as the UWATS tries to help out. And that might be a good combo. UWATS deals a bit of damage, gets the stun. So Apache needs to disengage. Is trying to get away, but drops at least a couple of hit points here to that UWATS fire. UWATS tries to get further away. 50 cal is currently really, really powerful. So that is quite strong. Airborne and fire teams moving forward here as well. Humvee retreating. T-62 will kill off the Humvee over here, whilst the Motostrelki move forward. Rapira and Kranzer coming in, try to get forward, whilst the OH-58 Scout moves forward. Motostrelki BMP holding off the line over here. UWATS will get killed, most likely by the Dragon soon, yeah. And the forces of Jasp not really under control of this. Apache also might come back soon. F-15 coming in as a strafer now, helping out a bit. Might take some damage from the producer. No, won't get quite on range there. Yeah, losing the OSA, really one of the biggest losses of Jasp here. A completely unnecessary one as well. Having the OSA going so deep is not something you can let happen like that. So, Sotek on a +3 right now. You know, it's the F-15 and it's flying up above, high in the sky. Mi-24V coming in from the rear will try to help out with the northern flank. Rocket version this time. Yeah. Rapira and Motostrelki trying to hold the line, but the center completely occupied by Sotek. Obviously 82nd not quite having the late game, but still having a great mid game. And can go deeper than some of the other airborne formations, for sure. F-15 this time should take a bit of damage here from the Pusa, but nothing deadly. As the second one comes around to try to kill the helicopter. And that should be a success. Mi-24 drops down. F-15 only loses 3 hit points. Coop nowhere near to help out closing that job. And that's another important unit gone here. F-15 stays around though, that's not great. Will take some extra damage here. Okay, we'll only go down to 5 hit points though. Still good enough to get out of there. Coop never got a shot off. That's Motostrelki. Try to come in into the south, trying to secure maybe a bit of a position into the section in the middle, but military police and airborne holding the line here. Airborne Dragon trying to kill off the Grenzer. Will get a hit there. Coop moving in as well. That's the Motostrelki BMP roll forward. F111 cluster. We'll try to hit the T62M1 here. F111 gets shut down. Will crash into the ground. Got the kill on the T62, but F111 way more expensive than that. So that was a good deal for Jasp there. But the pressure on the center is still really high. Jasp's pressure on the north completely gone. And it's a pretty tough spot here for our red player. As I said, 39th a bit better in the late game, but you still want to enter that in a solid spot. And Jasp currently not in a solid spot at all. Patchy still around here. Little AA to deal with it. Could still bully the whole south completely. Akatsia now trying to come in for Jasp. Let's see what that can achieve. Well, it's Humvees being sold on the other side. M1 IP moving in the north. Rapira moving forward. Trying to deal some damage there. Maybe TOW3, TOW2 coming in. What's the Sheridan? He's firing a missile here. Not getting a kill. CV coming in for Jasp will reduce the tick a bit. As currently there's there's a CV for Sotek, but Sotek's CV will take a while to get to the front line, so at least a +1 for a bit here. Reducing the tick slightly. But the Apache hitting the south. Oh, as said before, no AA around here. So all of this is pretty vulnerable to that kind of play. The F-15s keep MiG-23s away from getting the kill there. And yeah, moving into this infantry setup won't be easy. TOW2s in nice spots as well to hit enemy heavy tanks coming around. The ADBV enters the battlefield in the south, but it will need a while to get anywhere. Airborne scouts on the other side. M1 IP moving forward. Rapira on the hill. Now aiming up. Not quite getting the kill. That's the airborne. Keep on moving forward. M1 IP will go into the center. VCP gets into the central zone as well. Aero rifles moving around via the northern flank. Motostrelki holding the line here around the Rapira. Rapira should be able to overwhelm the Sheridan if the Sheridan comes around. Well, depends on, but the Sheridan should be able to spot it. So yeah, the Rapira should be able to get the kill there. Yeah, Sheridan goes down, but the northern flank basically now under pressure for Jasp as well, as Jasp has no infantry left in here. Airborne pushing this further. Rocket Apache trying to come around. Piusa is relatively far forward, should be able to deal with this, but trying to stage a push into the center out of this position is just really rough. Like, if you can hold the ridge on this map towards either side, you usually are close to victory. As coming back onto this is really, really tough. The central hill is a really powerful position on this map. But up in the north, airborne, move on forward. Chinook sitting around in the rear. And a +3 keeps on ticking. Akatsia silent for Jasp here in the rear. M1 IP trying to move on to where the Rapira is. Will get hit, but might be able to kill the Rapira. Yes, kills the Rapira before it can get hit once more. Down to 6 hit points, but really weakening the position here of Sotek, of Jasp quite a bit. Sotek moving in with Humvee tows. User in a dangerous spot now as well. M1 IP hitting the Motostrelki up from over there. Airborne coming in should help out cleaning out the Motostrelki completely out of this forest. And yeah, launching pad for assault really is not given here for Jasp at any spot. And by now Jasp kinda needs to get ready for this, as the points are ticking up for Sotek. I mean, still 11 minutes or 10 minutes to play here, if this stays on a +3, but the entrenchment that Sotek gets up will be only getting better and better. The longer you give your opponent to entrench into a defensive formation, the harder it will be to break that. And the stronger your assault needs to be. Meanwhile, we see some sneaky moves here with the Shinnocks in the north. Shinnock coming in to try to get around the corner. It's in the air. F-15s keep the sky clean. Coop and Biusa tried to retaliate, but not quite capable of doing so. That's the Su-25. Comes in for a bit of an attack. F-15 coming around once more. Biusa did die around here. Southern Biusa not really getting any damage off. Coop is out of ammunition, so really nothing going well here for Jasp. Getting a couple of kills, but every trade so far in the end has been in favor of Sotek. Sotek's early game just leading to a dominating position here, and it's a tough comeback position here for Jasp. Next to impossible, maybe even already. But let's see. Like, not 100% helpless, but it's getting really close here. Strong start from our blue player. Really strong start. Sotek also putting a help beacon onto Jasp's Akacia position, as the air rifles did spot that. So some nasty behind the line action here now from Sotek as well. Two Chinooks unloading units behind the lines. The one over here might have been spotted? No. Well, should be spotted now by the Mi-8 MTA. Chinook trying to get out. 150 cal won't be easily getting this shut down, because Chinooks have 12 hit points. So killing them off takes quite a while with something like that. Now it's down in the south. BTRs and Motorstralkies have assembled for the strongest position of Jasp on the battlefield. But Jasp's not using this. And this is kind of the only combined arms that Jasp has on the field that actually has a chance of success. But playing it right is still important here. And we'll see if Jasp can achieve that. As Su-25 hunt down the aero rifles. Not quite getting the kill there. So that's unfortunate. Whilst on the other side, an M1IP rolls in. Second M1IP for the center over here. As a Vulcan 20mm goes down to the south. Stinger coming in for the position over here. One step in the north, Motorstralky and BTRs hit each other. No, hit the air one. Air one should be cleaned out there relatively soon, but it's still a completely defensive position here. Not anything that can posture for an assault. And the rear line action with the aero rifles and so on is still quite annoying. F111 and F15 going really deep. F111 going down, but Akacia gets killed off by it. F15 helping out, killing off the Su-25. Aero rifles still alive, so still nasty behind enemy lines here. T-62 cleaning out a couple of frontline units, but the setup behind it by now is also really solid. AA getting up to the front line, airbornes everywhere, TOW-2s, M1IPs in the north, Apaches, some tanks as well, some solid infantry. So an all-around really solid setup. Well, Sotek will most likely get the MPLB over here. Air rifles over here can do some good amount of damage as well. So, Jasp heavily under pressure. And really needs to pull the trigger down here and try to achieve something with this. or everything else is kind of lost. And so, yeah, Jasp needs to get this job done. A10A, Rocket coming in, trying to get the kill onto the TADBV. TADBV trying to top smoke, gets stunned before it though, so it goes down. A10 might pay for it, but still a fair trade, as the A10 is falling into pieces. Its wing ripped off by the Pusa. Pusa dealing some good damage there. Rocket Apache has to retreat as well, but the TADBV was the cornerstone of this whole push down in the south. One of the mighty forces here being taken away, and Sotek is already at 1,600 points, so Jasp needs to strike right now, right here, or this game is not gonna come back. MTLB being captured by the air rifles in the north. Pretty annoying as well. And Jasp is now coming in. Forces moving forward, but this won't be an easy task. Kinda needs to create a snowball with this. And there's still a good amount of defensive forces all around for Sotek that Jasp has to overcome. So getting this done ain't an easy matter. Air rifles over here also still really sneaky, getting into the town. Whilst the air rifles in the north have been pinned down, or at least have been spotted by the Mi-8 MTA. Lots more units now roll on forward, trying to kill off the Dragon and the M67 units over here. Should be able to achieve that relatively soon. Yeah, Airborne Dragon down. Military police down in a second as well. Airborne stopping the Motostraki down here though. Little infantry on the direct front line right now. M67 still pretty scary over here. So Priusa in danger. Does disengage. One of the BMPs goes down. Apache moving forward as well. +3 though now. Only 2 minutes away from victory. As Jasp. Does Jasp even have a CV on the battlefield? No, Jasp doesn't even have a CV on the battlefield. And Jasp needs one to neutralize this, so without that, I don't see how Jasp can get back into this. As ATGM's flying towards the M1IP. M1IP does smoke off, will get away. Damage is getting dealt here by Jasp, but it's coming in really late and without any major impact to the outcome of the game, most likely, as now there might be a CV here. No, still no CV, and without a CV you can't get points, and without points you can't win the game. So Jasp in a bit of a pickle, as we are now nearly a minute away from victory for Sotek here with the current tick rate. Still no CV. Coop trying to get the F-15, doesn't get it. And the assault in the south is still going on, but 1,900 points. A10 coming around as well to hit some units. Osa out of ammo, and Osa goes down. At least the Coop kills the A10, so the A10 is out of the battle, but that's still a good one here for Sotek, as the last couple of seconds of this game are ticking, and then this should be over. Totu shooting from the north. 30 seconds remaining. F-16 LGB dropping its bombs. F-16 going down. Last couple of seconds. Being ticked down. GGVP here. Sotek takes map number 1. And with that, the position for Jasp is pretty desperate. Even with a win in the next game, Jasp's chances of making it to the playoffs are slim, but they would still be alive. Draw wouldn't be enough, so Jasp needs a win on the next map to keep any hope for making it to the playoffs. And obviously, this is Division 1. And if you so you also have to worry about demotion for next season. So Jasp needs points for that as well. So a win next map kind of is a must here. Otherwise, everything comes down to the game versus Phoenix in the last round. So let's see how that goes, as we will move in to game number 2 in a minute. And for that game number 2, we are back with Sotek versus Jasp. As Sotek up 1-0, really closing in on making it to the playoffs. Jasp being in 5th Panzer Division this time, while Sotek is switching over to 8th Infantry. Interesting matchup, no airborne this time around, but Leopards versus M60s and M1s. And solid infantry all around. A lot of 50 calls on this side. No 50 calls on this side, but um, a good amount of solid AA. Both sides have good artillery. And a couple of Apaches, actually. 2 Apaches in 5th Panzer helping out a bit as well. So that should be quite interesting. Once more, this time, short shout out. We now have a website. Soon you will be able to see the schedule for each week's streams and so on here. We'll finish that tonight. Also, we now have a new YouTube channel where all replays of tournament casts will be uploaded to. And there's just too much content now for just one channel. So we gonna go in with SD League Uncut. First video should be online tonight or tomorrow. Check it out in the chat and subscribe if you wanna have access to all our lovely replays in the future. Yeah, they will be all there so that we can archive them, as Twitch obviously doesn't archive them. And yeah, let's see. Sotek versus Jasp. Yeah, Sotek with a win here would be up 2-0 and would be in a position to maybe take Karma's spot 1 in the away in the group if Sotek then can beat Karma in the final week, next week, in that match. The question is, yeah, like, how will Karma play against Phoenix? If Karma wins against Phoenix as well, if Sotek wins here, then that would be a really interesting match. And I mean, position in group does matter a bit because it makes your quarterfinals easier, because you will play against the second place of another group instead of the first place of another group. So yeah, you still want to win even if you're already through a group. But first, Sotek has to clear this win here. Otherwise, he still might have to worry. If Jasp gets a draw here, Jasp wins against Phoenix next week, then that might still be in need of a tiebreaker. So Sotek first has to clean this one. And 8th infantry is a solid deck, but 5th can be pretty decent as well. So let's see how this goes. Fernspeer, Jägeraufklärer coming around. Marder 183s in the north. In the south, a couple of Panzer Grenadiers coming onto the battlefield as well. Leo 185s. Couple of Rolands. Other side, we see some Chaprals, some Pivots. A good amount of fire teams and engineers, all in the M113. The M113 brings the 50 cal for 20 points, which is really nice with good armor. So this should be quite interesting. Fire team 84 come around over here. So let's freaking go. Let's start any second now. This match number 2, unless I accidentally pressed the pause button, but I don't think I did. No, here we go. So Leo 1A5s coming in good numbers. Two of them from the get-go. On the other side, no tanks. Oh no, one M60. That's an interesting matchup. Leo 1A5 versus M60. 15-10 with 60 accuracy and 9 rate of fire versus 15-7 but with 60 accuracy and 1 more range. So basically 1 more penetration as well. So basically 16-7 with 5% more accuracy. Same amount of rate of fire, but the accuracy distance can matter, and obviously the range difference can matter as well. If the Leos can engage on full range and get the first shot there, then the M60s are in a pickle. If not, the M60 has good chances with the extra frontal armor. But we'll see how this goes. Basically, mostly a matchup of who shoots first wins, which is a big part of tank doctrine anyways, but maintenance recon will be important. Zwillings AA coming around over here might be able to stop the Cobra from dealing too much damage in the future. No, actually the Cobra gets the kill there. F4F coming in for the kill onto the Cobra. Cobra will get shut down, but got the kill onto the Zwillings AA and got the kill onto some Fernspeers in the north as well. M90 A1, M40 A1 coming around. The recolor's rifle of the West Germans. Good penetration stats, mediocre accuracy, and pretty bad rate of fire. So better against armored vehicles than other recoilless rifles maybe, but worse against infantry, as they still only do 1.26 damage with their low rate of fire. Takes them a while to get the kills, but they try their best here. F111 with LGBs coming around though. Roland can't find a kill? Yes, it can. Good hit for the Roland, but the bombs clean out this whole section of the map, so the infantry of Sotek might be able to move forward. Leo 185 holding the line. It's Milan coming around here from the side. Gets the M60. Good hit there. F4 trying to get some good hits as well. Does get mediocre hits, but AA on the side of Sotek good enough to instantly clap it afterwards. But 1 CV has arrived in the middle for Jasp, but Sotek will get one in there as well, neutralizing the advantage that Jasp got in the tick rate relatively soon by neutralizing the central zone. Another CV coming in for Sotek now. Sotek's transports are about to get sold, and the push around here can be quite annoying for Jasp. Jasp having a couple more units around here, but the infantry setup here for Sotek looks kinda scary. M113s and military police coming all around. Leo 185 trying to hit from the rear. Well, it's M151 MUD CP gets into the front line. In the rear, folks coming in. Panzer Grenadiers. M113s coming in here. So these M113s have a 50 cal as well, but the German ones are the A1 model, and they only have one frontal armor. So they, for the same price, are quite a bit weaker than the A3 model on the other side, which comes in with 3 frontal armor. And the difference between 1 and 3 frontal armor is quite substantial. Fire team AT4 moving around over here. Leo 185 disengaging back further. What's Panzer Grenadier are sitting in the south. M151 getting in here as well. Volksführer getting into the rear. Oh, is it also just an MG? Yeah, it's also just an MG3, right? It's not a 50 cal. So it's a lot worse. I thought it had at least had the 50 cal, but no, it only has a German MG3 as well, which is a lot weaker than its heavy MG brethren. So yeah, not as helpful as the M113 that you see on the other side, even though the name looks kind of similar. And now a +2 for Sotek, and the northern front line just looks so much better there. Sotek getting slightly better trades there the whole time, so Jasp has to get something in there to get this back. At least the Roland 3 and the Leo 185 were able to evacuate, and that's quite important. Alouette trying to come in. Panzer Grenadier and Marder 183 coming around. Another one of the recoilless rifles trying to get in here as well. Chaparral instantly claps the helicopter. The Gazelle there getting clapped out of the sky really quickly. Marder under heavy fire as well by the Ito. Goes down, 1 hit. Milan not quite able to do it the same way in the south. Whilst Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneer Flams are wreaking havoc in the rear line here. Panzer Grenadier Carl Gustav getting into a nice spot that might work out nicely. This might allow them to hit the fire team Dragon. Oh, not if they get onto the road at the same time though. They should just stay here and ambush. They don't need to go to the other side. Yeah, that's the right spot for them. Good choice there by Jasp. Not move to the other side. Whilst M60 move in from the rear. Panzer Grenadier Carl Gustav sitting on the road. Will most likely get the good hit. Yeah, but no kill. 3 frontal armor. Protecting the M113 from dying instantly. Carl Gustav still get the kill afterwards. But second M113 still around. Carl Gustav getting a hit there as well. Get killed off before they can achieve more than that. Still somewhat helpful. Center, Sotek keeps the pressure up. Still a +2 here for our player in blue. No CV. Now a CV Fuchs coming in for the south. Southern position in general relatively light here for Jasp. A bit more defensive weaponry here could be helpful, but first Jasp has to try to stabilize the north, and that is not an easy matter. Once more, Sotek slightly better in the early game. This time, still a better start for Jasp than in game 1, but not an easy one to play out of either. Sicherung's holding the rear line. Leo 1A1 coming in. What can Jasp do here about this? Good amount of infantry set up here with the Panzer Grenadier and the M113 Stinger using its M16 actually there to fight. Gepard, what is your idea here? Why is this is... Oh no, this is not a good idea, yeah, Gepard. Oh yes, why? This is looking bad. AT4 might already get the kill. Yes, it does. Does blow up the Gepard over there. Gepard goes down in flames. M151 CV holds the rear. +2 still going on. Will be put down in a second, but Jasp's advantage is completely gone. Jasp's advantage is completely gone. Engineers moving in the north. Mortars moving in the south. Hooks coming in. Capture the south as well. M48 moving around. Panzer Grenadiers sitting over here in the forest. Not having any CQC support, which is an issue. You kind of want to get them some CQC infantry as support there. Yes. Yeah, the known Panzer Grenadiers are helpful with their Panzerfaust 44. Though 44 is not amazing, but relatively good range at least. But against infantry, they're not that great at the moment. So you want to have some infantry that can pack a punch there, or enough vehicles. And the M113s of the Germans really not that either. Well, it's over here we have now a push being set up in the south. As a Cobra comes in together with some Humvees and some more M113s, all joining the forces down in the south in the forest. And the defensive setup here of Jasp on the other side still relatively light. What Jasp is doing though is getting an M110, and that might do some good amount of damage here. Units dealing some good amount of damage there as well. Ooh, yeah, instantly wiping out 2 infantry units here. Good hit there. Oh, Sicherungs have to be careful though that they don't run into their own fire. Okay, no. Fire gets stopped, but Sicherungs still have to be careful. 50 Cal's doing a good amount of damage. The Panzerfaust tried to stem the tide, getting a kill there. Whilst in the south, we have a push of Sotek onto the southern position here. Panzer Grenadier getting overwhelmed, getting killed off. M113 of Jasp trying to hold the line, but not really super successful at that just yet. Over here, smoke dropping in for Sotek. Trying to allow for a good setup into the zone. No CV. Okay, CV is coming up to try to contest this, get a take up, getting Jasp to have to engage over here into this forest fight, which you don't want to engage into. Cobra should be dead, but 2 Stingers behind the line get the kill in retaliation onto the F4. F4F crashing into the ground, exploding in a nice fireball here on this mountain ridge. So Stingers doing their job well there. It's a job well done. M110 used well. The Ito here most likely will be toast. Yes, already dying to the first shot. Even the M113 might die. As yes, the artillery gets that one as well. Really good hits there by the big artillery piece. 203mm. Quite powerful. Panzergrenadier still behind enemy lines here, but no real attachment to the front line. Gepard and so on were not the greatest investment there from Jasp. Jasp setting up something over here. What can Jasp achieve in this one? Panzergrenadiers trying to kill the Ito, not successful at this either. Whilst over here we have Gepards and Zwillings holding the line. Roland will get the F-16, or nearly get the F-16 actually. F-16 will get out. No more AA on the battlefield. Something that Jasp might have to consider as well. Having only the Gepards and... oh no, the Zwillings. No, it's one Gepard, yeah. One Gepard and the Roland in the center. Got the kill in the end here though. Gepard actually makes the kill. But the flanks relatively open once more without any AA. F4F at least got the Cobra down here, but the damage does continue. Sotek moves in with more forces into this whole section, and there's no TNT units on the other side. Pioneer Flamethrower, at least somewhat helpful, but the engineers here actually with TNT and the smoke might be bullying Jasp, similar to how Jasp lost in last week's game against Karma. So we will have to see if Jasp has a better setup against us this time around, but it won't be easy. This is really the go-to way of using engineers currently. Artillery trying to get the fire team AT4 over here. That one not moving just yet, so the next artillery shot should be able to finish it. Not quite, but really low. One more shot should come in, and that one might be do the job. Yes. Another kill there for the M110. Well done job there. Engineers on the fire. Just Jasp has to get Sotek out of this again though, as Sotek goes up to a +2 by contesting the southern zone. Stingers getting a nice hits onto the helicopter here as well. Apache in struggle and gets hit once more, gets shut down by the 50 cal. 50 cal really doing amazingly. Okay, more supply truck being stolen by this Panzergrenadier, which is quite nice. Whilst this is not going to go anywhere, is it? Sicherungs and so on all have moved in. Meanwhile, Panzergrenadiers in the north get stunned down, and Jasp not in a position to mount any major aggression in this game either, similar to game 1, though a bit slower in general. One of the engineers gets killed down, but the engineers already cleaned a lot of forces out of this, whilst M113s move forward as well. 60 minutes played, and Sotek is in a really good spot here, and might be able to secure their second victory. M35s disengage up there. Over here. M113s will kill the Fench Bear. Whilst the Roland is moving forward, and I'm not quite sure what for. That Roland being so far forward seems like a misclick to me. I don't know why else you would do that. Apache trying to get the kill there. Stingers. Okay. Not getting the kill there. Oh, these Stingers. Well, it's Panzergrenadiers. Try to hold the line over here. Up in the north, situation is a stalemate as well. There's a good amount of infantry has been brought in from Jasp to try to contest this. And +2 does continue. Leo 1A5 under fire. Dragon Engineer might be able to get the side shot, not quite able to. Okay. F111 this time around will make it out, as there were no follow-up AAs. For the one in the south goes down to 84 fire teams. I'm not sure why the Roland 3 was the most forward deployed unit on the side of Jasp. Seems to be a rather odd choice. But Sotek keeps up the +3, slowly strangling Jasp here in this game number 2 as well, it seems, as Jasp is a bit out of strategies right now. Tried a lot, lost a lot, and still in need of a push here. Sotek's play looking really hot. For sure would give Sotek a chance to win against Karma. Not a high chance, but Sotek is one of the few players in Division 1 where I would say this could become an upset. As Sotek also gets the CV snipe here. Yeah. Obviously would still favor Karma by a good amount, but Sotek could give Karma a good run for them money. Well, it's over here. Looks trying to bully off some of the enemy AA. That's in the north. Panzer Grenadier and Jaegers hold the line. B1F AH1F Cobra moving forward. Mech rifle under fire. Cobra aiming up, getting a good amount of missiles here into the Panzer Grenadier. Panzer Grenadier will die. Well, it's in the rear, Leo 2A3 and the M113A1 could maybe allowed to win this fight. Aito currently out of ammo, but supply trucks slowly moving forward. As the Leo 2A3 can win a fight against an M1A1, especially a slightly damaged M1A1. Gephardt helping out here as well. Yeah, this might be a fight that can be won if taken correctly, and then maybe the north can be won. Jasp under heavy pressure, with the south now heavily under containment by Sotek. Sotek even having full control over it, so the +4 will plead Jasp try relatively quickly if Jasp doesn't allow for any victories around the map elsewhere. And Leo 2A3 now under fire though. Two Aitos dealing heavy damage here. So this Leo 2A3 won't do it. Chaparral hitting the Apache, getting the Apache kill quickly here as well. This is really, really bad for Jasp. Jasp needed to achieve a victory up there in the north. And this was not what this one. This was close to the most terrible outcome possible there. Kinda. Not dealing any damage and losing one of your best units, heavily getting damaged on the other one. Really a tough spot now for Jasp to try to come back from. As Rangers also do a great job here, stopping some of the enemy martyrs here. Leo 2A3 at least doesn't get any damage from the 84, but the Ranger is still annoying behind the enemy lines here. Leo 2A3 delayed by quite a margin. CV is in the center, but no CV currently in the south. Oh yes. Whilst Sotek got one into Jasp's zone here for a while. We'll pull that one out now. At least pull it back. No, we'll pull it completely out. Because Jasp has invested into a good amount of forces here. But every good amount of forces down here means one less in the north. Where good reinforcements currently are also really, really important. A10 coming around nicely. Once more, no good AA here for Jasp. A lot of kills coming in here lately, and the push of Jasp seems to be stalled mostly. M113 trying to fight the Panzer Grenadiers, run into an M48, but M48 goes down to the M1 in the rear. And yes, the northern section is just hard to capture. CV in the south got taken out, As, yeah, Sotek is not under pressure. Sotek wants to make sure that that stays that way. Don't want to lose CVs needlessly if you're already on a nice point advantage. So just toy around with it like this. Whilst up in the north, Jasp is still trying to flank here. But there's so many mech rifles by now that this doesn't work out at all. Ito trying to hit the Leo 283, dealing some nice damage there as well. Not an amazing damage, as the Ito with its only 20 frontal armor penetration is not the greatest against the 19 frontal armor Leo 283, but bloody them nonetheless. That's over here. A Thunderbolt AT comes in on the hunt. I'm not sure what for. Is it actually trying to go for the... Okay, it's actually going for the infantry. Not using its ATGMs right now. Gepard, A1, getting fire onto the A10. A10 taking good amount of damage. Leo 185 coming up as well. Thanks for the follow. XX Infamous XX. Best gamer tag for sure on the market there. A really classic one there. Props to you there for that one. Whilst M48s and CV come in from the rear. Like, this is a textbook gamer tag there. I'm proud of you, Infamous. Leo 185 moving forward. Mech rifle versus Leo 185. Like that. If in future centuries people will be lectured about gamer tags in the 20th century, 21st century, this one should be in there. This one should be in history books in the 26th century or so. XX Infamous XX is the perfect example name, lol. Doesn't really get much better. Yeah. M48's here, Leo 185's moving in. Jasp's position could get a lot better at the moment. It's quite a rough spot. Sotek playing really solid here, not doing many mistakes, and having a nice combined arms all around here, non-stop. As M1A1 and M60s put up more and more pressure here in that northern section. As Jasp is not trading completely terrible, but it's just Sotek always, like, never losing a fight. And that is obviously problematic. Like, Jasp never catching Sotek off guard, not really putting any major pressure up. Every combat so far was dictated, both in game 1 and game 2, by Sotek's will. Like, it was never Jasp putting any pressure onto any situation. That's obviously also hard to make if you lose the early first couple of engagements. And that's what happened to Jasp in both of these games. But yeah, you still need to try to achieve a situation like that, where you are the one in the driver's seat, where you dictate how the match goes. The enemy has to play reactive, because being the reactive guy, always harder than being the active guy in a bigger engagement. If you have, like, try to get a setup that the enemy is not prepared for, and try to hit them with that. And then they have to quickly react and get a situation together. Obviously, if you just run heads on, like, that's not what I'm talking about. If you just run in heads on into 3 Itos, the enemy doesn't have to react at all. But, like, Sotek always tailored the engagements really well into their favor. Jasp able to repel Sotek here once more and getting ground back, but it's always a bit costlier than it seems to be for Sotek, so this is a tough spot. M1 moving up from the rear. M110 trying to get some hits around. Not quite getting the hit here, whilst the Pioneer flamethrowers moving in. Transport Panzer Fuchs getting killed off. M60 coming in. And yeah, it's a stalemate again. But Jasp really needs to get something together here that can trade effectively to get this game around. Maybe playing even more defensive and then trying to snipe the enemy with artillery or something like this, but it's only 30 minutes remaining, so that's not really an option. Yeah, you need to get something aggressively going, and I guess this is the attempt here, but this doesn't look like a great attempt just yet. And 1A1 and M13's on the other side here holding the ground. Also, 8th Infantry currently with the current 50 cal just feels a good bit better than the West Germans. West German infantry currently not quite cutting it, and having an M50 cal on a vehicle versus having an M3 on a vehicle is just such a big difference. So, yeah, hopefully something that changes relatively soon with a bit of a change. 50 cals hopefully getting a bit of a nerf. They could use some adjustment there. It's up in the north. Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneer Flamethrowers engaging the mech rifles. M113A3 moving forward. Panzer Grenadier under fire. Sotek still holding their ground though. As Milans try to get the Bradley. Can they get the kill there? Would be nice. Yes, they can. F4F trying to come around. AA still good enough though. Whilst Jasp gets another Leo 2A3 in. This push is doing something. Not quite sure if it does enough just yet. Leo 2A3 from over here is still helping out. Obviously could use a bit more repair. Alouette trying to move forward, but Alouette is just not great against decks with Chaparrals. Relatively hard to use there. So, not sure if I would actually get them even. I mean, having a Reedcorn helicopter always nice, but all the 3000 meter range AA makes using them quite tough. We are still on the stalemate situation. Both sides having 2 zones and contesting the middle. North, we get more infantry in here, more Sicherungs. This push is slowly gaining ground, but not gaining trades. And the Sicherungs over here getting slaughtered. Oh no, Jasp with a too far forward unload position. And the A-10 continuously doing some damage as well. Gepard just not quite good enough to deal with an A-10 on its own. And this really is not improving the situation of Jasp at all. As this was one step too far forward now. The infantry is trading really terribly. Milan 2 trying to hit the M1. Gets the hit. M1 now shooting at the Milan. Ooh, Leo 2A3 goes down to the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt also getting another kill there. Oh no, Thunderbolt coming in with the nice hits. Since the Maverick D version went up to 50% accuracy, this A10 is a lot better than before. And Sotek now once more in complete control over the engagement in the north without the tanks on the other side. These were some tough hits here to Jasp's defense, and this show most likely is going to crumble relatively soon here now. Compeller 120mm mortars coming around. One Abrams standing in the rear. And yeah, 1100 point advantage for Sotek, 9 minutes of the end, with Sotek also being in the lead in points. Seems to direct into a win here for the blue player. Oh, not sure why this movement happened. Sotek, yeah, messing up the movement of the CV there for some reason. Jasp getting a take there for a second. Jasp doesn't have anything going in their favor. Not having the artillery, not having the front line, not having the air to really achieve any breakthrough. So this is not gonna be easy. ITOs all around. Let's Leo 1A1s move through the south. Panzer Grenadiers trying to help out. CV won't stay that far forward though, and there's a good amount of defensive setup here for Sotek in the south as well. This looks close to over. 8 minutes. And really the combined arms of Jasp is just not there for a breakthrough. And a breakthrough is what's necessary now to gap a 1000 point break difference. You need a +3 and then basically a +5. So the center needs to be 1. And there's just too much Sotek and too little Jasp for that to happen realistically within this time restriction. As Jasp really can't get the combined arms up to the necessary level in time. Artillery maybe can help out. If the M110 maybe can snipe the units over here a bit, it would be nice. M110 in general, relatively powerful gun. Yeah, trying to help out now over here with the ITOs. Doesn't even need to move because there's no counter battery. Jasp keeps it moving, but by now I would just keep it shooting and maybe try to dislodge as many positions as possible. Southern push also not really working out yet. The defensive position here from Sotek pretty strong. So this will pretty... yeah, this will most likely go into the favor of our blue player. Really good game here from Sotek. Once more, not crumbling at all throughout the game. Getting the points in. Yes, we have a solid defense in the south, getting back in here. But the early games, in both games, just way too rough to come back from. Made it necessary to get some great victories that Jasp was not able to provide later on in the game. Now Bombers even crap the CV in the middle, so that means that Sotek even will be the one that gets more points instead of Jasp. And that is just the nail in the coffin here now. We have only 6 minutes remaining, over 1000 points different. That's not something that you can bridge unless you're already on a heavy offensive here and a big advantage. 5 minute 50 for over 1000 points is just not enough time here for our blue player in red. So well played here by Sotek in game number 1 and 2, and really positioning themselves as the favorite for the whole event. Like, Sotek looking really solid against two pretty good opponents, Jasp and Phoenix, no pushovers. So let's see how Sotek can do against Karma next week, because that will obviously be a big indicator of what Sotek's chances are of making it, playing against the favorite of the whole tournament. But with a 2-0 so far in the group stage, with 2 wins in the pocket, 2 clean wins at that, you can go relatively with ease in there because of that. Sotek basically is through. Phoenix still can maybe keep a chance of moving on alive if Phoenix wins against Karma. But Sotek, after this one, with a 2-0, and the current standing in that group with no draws in it, is through to the playoffs. So there's no way in which anyone can stop Sotek from that. CV for Jasp made it in, but with the center completely captured, Sotek keeps the take. 4 minutes remaining, over 1200 points ahead. So yeah, well played here by Sotek. Jasp will get a couple more ticks. As I said, Jasp not playing bad this game, just having a bad start in both games, and then not getting any miracles happening, not getting any amazing plays that were necessary to come back out of these positions. Really, in game number 1, just getting rushed off of all of the map, basically losing that OSA with a bit of negligence and keeping the micro there. You can't micro AA badly when you're playing against 82nd. And in this game, losing a couple of the fights early on in the north, not quite training well enough, and then getting overrun in the south for a bit as well. And that is the nail on the coffin. Jasp getting some points here on the board. So, as you can see, Jasp really fighting to try to get back, but it's not happening out of such a bad situation. Meanwhile, Ito flying into the north. Leo 284s coming in there, but the defensive setup also of American decks always really scary. And the amount of Itos and Totus that are around makes it just so tough to attack into them. And Sotek gets the W here. Relatively clean KD advantage there in the end as well. So yeah, Sotek up 2-0 in that group. That makes that group pretty interesting. With 4 points, 2 points per map. And so, yeah, so Sotek is currently leading this group, but Kama is obviously the favorite of winning against Phoenix there. Phoenix, solid player, but Kama is just so good at the moment. So let's see. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's see how Sotek can keep up with Kama. Really interested in that. Well, this is not Phoenix. This is 366. The other Phoenix is up here. We have 2 Phoenixes in. This is Chinese Phoenix. Let's call them Chinese and US Phoenix. This is Chinese Phoenix. Or is this the one we were speaking about? It's not Phoenix Altica, no. So, yeah. Opera best browser. Opera even has a gaming version of browser. Opera knows what real gamers need. Yeah. How dare you insulting Opera? Also, yeah. Once more, guys, we got playsdl.com as our website now, where you can find all information about upcoming tournaments. And from tonight onward, also our schedule and all the current brackets and so on will be in the news section. Yeah, we'll update the schedule weekly on here. That is the perfect platform, I think, to put it on. Yeah, exactly. That's all planned. Like, yeah, that's feedback I got, and I think both of those feedbacks are really good. I thought about that already myself today, but didn't came along to make it happen just yet. And then once more, Matcherino, guys. Matcherino, where you can find the links for crowdfunding. As with just one click, you can add money for free to the prize pool for WARNO. And Lila Elf casting off Steel Division tomorrow, as on Saturday we have the Nebulous tournament. And then on Sunday we will cast some more Steel Division as well. Friday we have WARNO with the Friday Night WARNO, where I will be joined this time by Eugen's. Oh my god, let's butcher a French name, everyone. Sir Tatastico Le Magulin, who is one of the guys working on maps. So we will obviously talk about maps as the focus, next to other things of the game's development. And yeah, then we have on Saturday the Nebulous tournament, where Nebulous has a really nice patch, which will be quite nice as well. And this will be quite nice, because the new overlay for Nebulous, for they added When we have a look on it, Nebulous, the new patch, they added a spectator overlay where you can. Oh, they don't have it in here. Okay. Well, first of all, they have a better battle report overlay in the end, but they also have a spectator overlay now, where you see all the fleets on that are going on, which ships are dead, and so on, and which ships are being tracked at any moment. Really, really cool. Makes it so much more enjoyable to watch a game of Nebulous. So, yeah, be around on Saturday. We have a good amount of teams for this as well. And yeah, let's go on. Also, we have now a new YouTube channel that should have its first YouTube video up tomorrow, SD League Uncut, where we will archive all the casts of where I will archive all the casts of that I do on Twitch, but obviously not put any big effort in cutting it because that would be a lot of work. And yeah, the main YouTube channel already has so much content coming into it that it would be overflooded, especially with all the WARNO and Steel Division League content coming up. But yeah, people want to get back there, and Twitch library is kind of trash at the moment. Like, and also disappears after 14 days and so yeah, we will put the YouTube videos there for you to watch there. And and let's go on. Yeah, spectator overlay for WARNO would be really nice as well. I still wish we would have, like, do you remember the first overlay we had for WARNO? Where it was all on top? Like, the points that players got were on top as well, not on the side. Like in all the other Unigine games, that they moved that back there because people asked for it to be there where it always was. Oh. Yeah. I wish we would have that on top for the spectator, though. I understand why you want it on the side, away from all your buy-in stuff and so on that you have in-game when you're playing, but as an observer, you don't have that whole shenanigans on the top left. So using that in the replay and in the spectator view to put the points up there and the names up there would be really nice. And they had that overlay already, so I guess that should be somewhat easy to implement. Like, yeah. We'll put that up once more in UI when it comes around. I put it up there back in the day, but nobody else was. I don't know, maybe I'm just off here, but I like that up on top. If you liked that up on top there as well, yeah, let me and let especially Eugen know, so they might listen to that feedback there. UI improvements are coming, a good bunch. They're working on quite a bit there. But yeah, a good spectator overlay obviously would make our job as casters way easier. Yeah. With that said, don't think we have any games left to be casted for WARNO. As I don't think there's any. No WARNO League games going on right now. So we're gonna jump over to something else then. Let's yeah, let's move on to Against the Storm, game that